highly anticipated midnight airdrop claim is finally live, and if you've held at least $100 worth of ADA, Bitcoin, or other major altcoins, you should be eligible to claim. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys exactly how to go through this claiming process and everything you have to know about the Night token. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, if you don't know anything about Midnight, it is a layer 2 privacy chain of Cardano, and they are releasing 24 billion Night tokens completely for free to the community. And the way it works is it is going to be a multi-phase token distribution with 3 different claim windows. So what will happen is you go on, you claim your tokens, it has to go through this de-thawing process, which lasts about 60 days. And after which you'll be able to redeem and actually get those tokens in your wallet and be able to trade them on centralized exchanges as well as decentralized exchanges. For the first claim window, 50% of all of these Night tokens went to ADA holders. You had to have at least $100 worth of ADA at the snapshot. And they also did 20% of the supply to Bitcoin holders and 30% to ETH, SOL, XRP, BNB, AVAX, and BAT. Now, one of the interesting things to note here is I checked some of my Solana wallets that definitely should have qualified, and they didn't all qualify. But I'm going to show you how to go through the eligibility process in a second. Anything that isn't claimed in that first phase will then get redistributed and go through an additional claiming process called the scavenger mine, and this happens one more final time in the lost and found claim phase 3. Now, to actually claim these tokens, it is super straightforward regardless of what chain you go on. You simply select the one that you want to check for qualification, in this sense ADA, and it'll ask you to connect one of your wallets for that chain. So I'm going to select Lace. It'll tell me how many Night tokens I'm eligible for. I then hit next. I go through this whole entire terms of service. I then say I understand. I sign a unique message. I do not have to have any ADA in my wallet to do this, by the way. And then once I do that, I hit complete claim. Sign once again. I've already claimed this. And then what happens is at the end of this 2-month period, they will go into that secondary scavenger claim window. And after that ends, that's when we're going to be able to de-thaw our tokens and get our first redemption. And once you've done this on one wallet, you just hit start over. And this is where you do the exact same thing all over again. Now, one important thing to note here is that if you're using a different ecosystem, such as Ethereum, you are still going to need to have a Cardano wallet where those Night tokens go. So even though you can connect your Rabby wallet or Kepler or Phantom or all of the top wallets out there, you will still need to have a Cardano wallet. And with this, I recommend either using Lace, or if you want a more mobile friendly app as well, you can download Vesper. As far as some other interesting things to note here, guys, 100% of that 24 billion tokens are getting distributed through this Glacier airdrop process. And I figured, let me do some math here. And it turns out that at a $1 billion FDV, I have no idea where this is going to go, that would be about 4 cents per token, meaning every 1,000 Night you have should equate to around $41 to $42. Now, if you don't think it'll go to a $1 billion FDV and you think it'll go to 500 million, simply divide that number by 2. But what's nice is this is completely free to claim and you don't have to spend any gas fees. So it's kind of a no-brainer to go on here and see how many Night tokens you're eligible for. And the more ADA or the more Bitcoin or the more Solana you had, the more you should be able to claim in this process. Now, that pretty much wraps everything up. One important thing to note here is I'm so early with recording this video because I want to be the first one to post it, that I actually found this before the Midnight Foundation dropped a tweet saying that this was live. And I know that this link should be legit, but you can double check before you try to claim anything, because when you go to their main Midnight Network website, you'll be able to go to their Midnight Tokenomics at the top. And when you go to their Midnight Tokenomics, you can hit claim now, and that claim now takes you here. So if this super professional site through the main website wasn't legit, then I'm sorry, and you guys can unsubscribe. And now you're probably wondering, how the heck were you on top of this so quickly? Well, that's where Jellycubes or Alpha Group on Cardano, which is really cross-chain at this this point was able to alert me that this claiming process was live. So if you're on Cardano, or if you're going to be onboarded to Cardano through this midnight process and you are looking for some plays in this new ecosystem, then definitely check out our project Jellycubes. We also cover a bunch of other chains like Abstract, Solana, etc., etc. And if you're someone that can't afford a Jellycube at this time, stay tuned. We're going to have a WAP monthly subscription option where instead of needing to buy a whole Jellycube for, let's say, $500, you can now spend money on a monthly basis to get access to the group. So stay tuned if you're interested in that. That wraps up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.